afternoon to you and welcome to Green Stadium here in Washington, D.C., where today the Howard Bison take on the Norfolk State Spartans. These are two teams having mediocre seasons, and by mediocre, I'm being nice because the Bison come in at 1-6, while the Spartans are 2-6 on the year. My name is Ty Miller, joined by Tony McGee, and Tony will start with the Norfolk State Spartans, a team that is 2-6, but they could easily be 6-2, and that's primarily because of their quarterback, Dennis Brown.
Yes, Dennis Brown is a very versatile quarterback. Not only does he pass well with over 1,000 yards, he has almost 300 yards rushing. Therefore, Howard will have to really stop him from passing first and run second.
The real bad news for Norfolk State is on their defense, where their free safety Terrell Whitehead makes most of their tackles.
Whenever you have a free safety making most of your tackles, that means your defensive line, as well as your linebackers, they're not doing the job. Therefore, they need that upfront pressure and they need better play.
Now let's talk about the 1-6 Howard Bison, a team that really doesn't know who they are right now.
Yes, early in the season they were running the ball a little bit better. Now they've gone to the passing game and that's not successful. They need to establish right now, are we running the ball, or are we going to pass the ball?
And their bright spot too has been on defense, where Endor Cooper continues to impress.
Endor Cooper averaging over 13 tackles a game. This guy can go to the next level, but he needs help from his teammates.
Howard and Norfolk State, the Bison on a 3-game losing streak, while the Spartans on a 5-game losing streak. Spartans and Bison coming up on HBCU Sports.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
At Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
Rewards members take 2 round trips on Acela, they get 1 free. Visit Amtrak.com for details.
This game being brought to you by Russell Athletics. Russell Athletics. Paradise Exit. The latest in fashion, music, dining, and more. Church's Chicken. Church's Chicken. Publix Food Store, where shopping is a pleasure. And by Navy. And once again, good afternoon to you from Green Stadium here in Washington, D.C., where the Howard Bison are taking on the Norfolk State Spartans. The Spartans have won the toss and elected to receive, and we are just about set to get underway here. Ty Miller and Tony McGee on this sunny and nice day in Washington, D.C., temperature near 70 degrees. There is John Mendoza making his approach, and here's the kick going deep to Norfolk State. And it's going to roll out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, and right away, the Bison make a mistake in the kicking game, and that will start Norfolk State off in excellent field position.
And this has been the case for the last 4 or 5 years. You open the game, you get a kickoff, and then you give them excellent field position, and that's what's been transpiring. They must address that. I know it's at the end of the season, but that's very important.
So Norfolk State will start out 1st and 10 with good field position. The ball spotted at their own 40-yard line. The Spartans come out with a record of 2-6 on the season as we look at the starting lineups for the Howard Bison. We'll get to their offense a bit later on because right now Norfolk State's on offense. And the Spartans will come out with Dennis Brown under center, actually in the shotgun formation at quarterback. Brown sends a man in motion. And here's a quick handoff in the end around, and the player trips looking for a receiver downfield, but wisely, Shamar Johnson throws it out of bounds. Trick oration on the first place, Tony. First play, Tony. That is the wide receiver, Jamar Johnson, on that play.
What it is when your defense has a reputation, as you look at the Howard's defense, when they have a reputation of overflowing, you have propensity to try to do some overflowing plays. In other words, you'll run one way and go back the other, and that's what that reverse was, to really get them to overflow and overreact to the play.
5 wide for the Spartans, 2nd down and 10. Dennis Brown takes a snap. Brown back to pass, has time, has a man out there, and it's going to be a short completion for a gain of maybe 1 yard, if that much, to Jamar Johnson, a 6'4", 220-pound senior from Norfolk, Virginia. Gain of 5 on that play. Looked like it was back to the line of scrimmage, but he did get 5, and now it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 as we look at Norfolk State's offensive and defensive lines here. They're on offense, so it's 3rd down and 5 now for Dennis Brown and company. Brown again in shotgun formation. Sends 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Howard with the 3-man front and a linebacker creeping up close. Here's Brown, long snap count. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And we'll take the snap. Brown, 3-step drop, has a quick pass over the middle, and it's down inside Howard territory, down to the 39-yard line, and that's going to be a 1st down for Darrell Dickerson.
Once again, they were looking at that middle zone, and Howard is playing a cover 2, which they're pushing the receivers inside. And what they're doing is they're getting that receiver right there between the linebacker and the defensive back and the quick pass. What it looked like Norfolk wants to do this week is really play safe and get short passes.
Gain of 12, so a 1st down and 10 at the Bison 39-yard line for Norfolk State, who now has 2 running backs right beside the quarterback, Dennis Brown. Brown takes a snap, inside handoff, and it's going to go down to about the 37-yard line as Takeem Hedgeman was man on the carry. And a tackle made by number 44, James Carter, for the Howard Bison.
Now, tell you what, James Carter's really been coming on and playing very well, and he's really filling in that need that Indoor Cooper has for defensive help. What you're looking at Norfolk, they've ran 2 quick passes. They've tried to reverse. Now they're running the ball. So what they're trying to do is try an array of plays, see what works best, and then there's 7-on-1 situation.
2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. Brown again, shotgun formation, 2-step drop, quick pass out there, has his receiver out there who's quickly brought down by Dante Martin after Dario Walker made that reception to get it down to the Howard 39-yard line.
As you look at, you say a quick drop, go right out there, hope the defensive back give him enough room what he did, but he closed very well. That's what's important on those tight and those little quick passes. That defensive back has to close and has to make the tackle.
Gain of 4 on that 2nd down pass, so now a 3rd down and 9 for the Spartans. This is where the Bison need to get off the field. You look at Dante Martin, who just made that excellent close and stop on that play. 3 wide for the Spartans as Howard shows blitz. They come after Brown. Brown gets it off, has a man out there, and cannot hit the intended receiver, Dario Walker. If he had hit him, Walker could have walked into the end zone.
But really what they were doing was Howard was bringing the linebacker as well as the safety. They blitzed him a little bit, put pressure on him. You see they're bringing more people than they can block. Indoor Cooper almost gets there, make him overthrow the ball. What happened? He threw it before he wanted to throw it, and that was the scheme of the defense.
So now Billy Rudd will punt for Norfolk State, stands at midfield. And quick 6 is what they call him, back for the Bison. And he will not get a chance to handle this one as the ball bounces and goes out of bounds at about the 4-yard line.
Not a pretty punt, but an effective punt. Went out the 4-yard line, and when you have that, that's really a nice punt.
So right now, let's take it down to our sideline reporter this afternoon, Susan Stark. Susan, what do you have for us?
Hi, today one of these teams will be breaking free from their losing streak. Before the game, I had a chance to talk to both coaches, and Coach Bailey says he's going to cover the field more and hoping he's corrected his kicking game. Meanwhile, Coach Adrian says his team will show good ball control and work on not giving up those big plays. Tony, Ty, back to you.
All right, thank you, Susan. The Bison start 1st and 10 at their 4-yard line. This is Carlos Whitaker on the carry, and Whitaker struggles over the 5 to about the 8-yard line. And you just heard Susan say that Coach Carey Bailey wants to have more ball control, and you talked about it before the game. He needs to have more balance on offense.
And that's what you need. And when you say ball control in the early part of the game, you want to establish that run. We know you can pass, but establish and run, and you need that with this offensive line. As you can see, got a lot of young players on there, but at the same time, they have to establish the run.
2nd down and 4 for the Bison after Whitaker picked up 6 on that first down carry. And again, here's Whitaker on the carry. Whitaker over the 10 to about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. And that's a first down for the Bison.
And you know, Whitaker came into this game with 298 yards rushing, and we can say this is right off tackle. And what you do is let your lineman get one-on-one, cut down that nice linebacker, and a good run by Whitaker. I like him because he can run not only inside, but outside, and he's a tough runner.
The front line for the Bison: McClelvin, Eric Acosta, Sean Wolford, Chapman Young, and Michael Russell. Tight end is Brian Blake. So there's a penalty.
First down.
It's going to be a penalty after the play on Orlandis Hood, or check that, number 6 for the Bison. And that'll bring up a first down and 10. They'll mark it back, but still be first down for the Bison. So there's the man with the infraction for the Howard Bison. That was Brandon Drayden. What was the infraction time? I kind of missed it right there. I don't know if you caught it, but late flag. As we look at Norfolk State's backs and receivers, when we saw earlier on offense, but now the Spartans are on defense. And here's Howard again with a handoff, and this will be Ramon McElrathbey, and he'll get over the 10 to about the 11-yard line.
You see, you know what has to happen. And one thing I like what Coach Bailey is doing right now, no matter how many yards they gain and what penalties they have, they're trying to establish the running game. And Ty, over the prior weeks, that's what we said they needed to do, whether they go out with 5 wide receivers, start running at this team.
Well, you might want to do that, too, because Norfolk State is last in rushing defense in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. 2nd down and 5 for the Bison. 10:41 left in the first quarter. No score between the Spartans and your Howard Bison. Hagler under center. Again, play action fake. Looking, has a man out there and will make a completion, but now incomplete as the ball was caught by McElrathbey, but as soon as he was hit, he fumbled it out of bounds. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 at the 12-yard line.
Had he even caught that, it was going to be at the line of scrimmage or maybe a yard gain. What I think that they need to set up is at least try to gain 2 or 3 yards on each play. Hagler had a 3 or 4 step drop right there. He threw it fairly well. But at the same time, I don't know why you run a play that does not gain any yards.
3rd down and 5 for the Bison. Ball at their 12-yard line. Now Hagler goes in shotgun formation. Looking. Quick pass out there, has his man, and that's Drayden. Drayden first down up to the 25-yard line.
Nice improvement we've seen from Hagler. We've been concerned over the prior weeks that when he had a 3-step drop, he'd either throw it high or low, but that time, as you see, he dropped back in the quarterback, still eyeball a little bit, 2-step drop right to the end pattern, and that's a very hard pattern to be covered.
Brandon Drayden, a freshman, 5'8", 170 from Miami, and he's a playmaker, so those types of guys you've got to get into the game.
Yes, because they're quick. They can take that and go to the yard with it.
1st and 10 Bison. Here's Carlos Whitaker on the carry, and Whitaker not going too far as number 1 Dennis Marsh and company, along with Ray Jennings and A.J. Harris, the front line for this 3-4 defense, make the stop after about a gain of 1.
They're right. Dennis Marsh, he comes in with pretty good credentials. Not only is he a big guy, 6'5", 300, but he comes in with 35 tackles. And I do not like them. I like Whitaker. He can run outside, but run him more inside. They're running him at the 6 and 7 hole, which is between the tackle and tight end. Run him more between the guard and the tackle.
2nd down, 9 for the Bison. Ball at the 26-yard line. No score with 9:27 left in the first quarter. Now the quarterback Hagler moves under center, sends a man in motion. And here's a quick pass out there to Drayden. Drayden spin moves but will not go anywhere, as staying home and making the tackle was Don Carey, number 27, the quarterback for the Norfolk State Spartans.
As you see, this is not a pass, it's more of a lateral. He threw it behind the line of scrimmage, and what they were trying to do is get a blocker out there and see if quick 6 could make a move and make the man miss. But the defense played it very well. I don't like those because you're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage when you have no possibility of gaining yards if it's read correctly.
Now 3rd down and 15 after a loss of 5 on that play. There's Brandon Drayden right there, the playmaker for the Bison. And here's Hagler in shotgun formation, 3-4 defense for Norfolk State. No blitz being shown. Hagler stepping back, looking to pass, looking, has a man open. It's Drayton, but cannot make the reception up at the 37-yard line, so they'll bring up a 4th down and punting situation for the Howard Bison, who, Tony, have had problems in the kicking game all season, and even more problems now because John Mendoza is out for the season with knee surgery. Dennis Viberg is out for the season, so the punter, Patrick Wolf, will be handling all the kicking chores.
And those two guys had a problem when they were in, and now it's going to be up to the people up front to really protect them, get down and cover as well, because they have had a lot of problems with the kicking game.
So here comes the punt from about the 6-yard line by Wolf. Norfolk State with 2 men back at the 30. And the ball will take a bounce, and Howard will down the ball as it hits a Bison player at about the 35-yard line. Actually hit him at about the 38, but they'll spot it at the 35-yard line. Patrick Wolf with a decent kick that time, Tony.
Yeah, and as you see, but I did not like the protection. There was someone there putting pressure on him. Okay, we know Wolf is a little bit slow in kicking the ball, but at the same time, those guys up front, before they release and go and cover, they must also protect him and keep the rushers out.
There's Coach Carrie Bailey with the Howard Bison looking for their 2nd win this season. A 44-yard punt that time by Patrick Wolf, so 1st and 10 for Norfolk State. Their 2nd possession, they'll take it at their own 35-yard line. Dennis Brown, the quarterback, moves under center. Brown one setback behind him. That's D'Angelo Branch, and Branch will go to his right and get nowhere as Endor Cooper, one of the men on the stop for the Bison, along with Patrick Jean-Marie.
Endor Cooper is making the play, but the defensive line made the play. They stacked up the offensive line very well, penetrated it to the backfield. The running back tried to bounce off. Endor Cooper, which is very good at that when he came off the foul. Endor has the speed and the size to get there and make the hit.
2nd down and 10, 7:56 left in the 1st quarter. Brown moves back in shotgun formation. Brown, a dangerous runner. Takes a snap, looking to pass, has a quick pass out there to his wide receiver, Darrell Dickerson. Dickerson is stopped right away by Endor Cooper.
Now we've seen Endor Cooper make 2 passes. He's made 2 tackles on passes, made a couple on runs. He's very active today, and that's what you need from this big All-American, I would say, linebacker. But what they're trying to do in Norfolk is trying to pick that zone apart, throw those small passes. Howard will take that. As long as you can keep them down to 2 or 3 yards of reception, they will not get 10 for a 1st down.
3rd down and 6 for Norfolk State. Ball at the 40-yard line. 5 receivers on this set for Dennis Brown and company. 3-man line for the Bison, who moves it to a 4-man line now. Brown has time, has his pass out there, has his receiver at midfield, and that's Dario Walker, and Walker will move the chains for a Norfolk State 1st down.
That was all due to no pass rush. You had very good coverage. That zone was working. You cannot blame that on the zone. You cannot blame that on the coverage. What you blame that on is no pass rush whatsoever. Quarterback stood back there for a while, was able to pick out his secondary receiver, throw it to the sideline, pick up the 5 yards.
So 1st and 10, Norfolk State, ball at the 49-yard line. And there you see Dario Walker, and there's Dennis Brown, the Spartans quarterback, in shotgun formation. D'Angelo Branch right next to him. Brown takes it and runs it right behind Branch. Brown gets into Bison territory as a late flag comes in. Now, you might notice that the flags are going to be pink this afternoon because the MEAC conference is doing their part to help breast cancer awareness. And so in conjunction with that, the referees are going to be throwing pink flags this afternoon.
That's a very good point, and I like that you pointed it out to me. Now what we're seeing is they're trying to establish the run, but at the same time, Howard is playing very good run defense right now. As we said, you have to watch this quarterback because Brown can either run or throw.
10 yards, repeat, 1st down.
Holding on the offense, so that'll march Norfolk State back 10 yards. And that'll be back into Spartans territory at their own 43.5-yard line. That was Andy Raymer, who was on the hold that time for Norfolk State. That's a 6'4" senior from Menifee, California. So now, 1st down and 10 back at the 44. Brown, shotgun formation. D'Angelo Branch back there with him. Brown, 5-step drop, now being forced out, runs out, being chased, will get back over into Howard territory at about the 45-yard line. So a gain of 14 for Dennis Brown, who can scamper when he needs to.
Good
for
and bad
Norfolk
play.
State.
You see the quarterback sets up, looking at the receiver, get a pretty good rush, inside rush, but he runs in between the defensive end and the defensive tackle, got too much speed to get outside. You have to keep him in, and then the linemen need to stay in their lane. As you can see, you got 3 people over here, 1 over here, and he falls. And this defensive tackle, he in a foot race with him, he cannot win.
Saki Kirkula on the foot race with Dennis Brown, and he lost that foot race that time. So a 2nd down and 3 for Norfolk State. Brown again, shotgun formation. Howard with the 5-man front showing blitz. And here's D'Angelo Branch going to the right. Branch gets down to about the 40 for a first down for the Spartans.
You had to respect the run because Branch came in with 698 yards, therefore he can run the ball. Even though they do not run it as well as other teams, but they can run the ball, and they're trying to have a balanced attack now.
Branch, a homegrown product from Norfolk, Virginia for this Norfolk State Spartan team. That brings up a first down for the Spartans with 5:55 left in a rapidly played first quarter. Dennis Brown's shotgun formation. Howard with a 4-3 look this time on defense. Brown changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Pumping his fist together, whatever that means. Now he takes a snap, back to pass, and he floats one out there and intended for the wide receiver who was covered out there. Looking for interference was Darrell Dickerson, but there was no interference on that play as he was covered that time by the Brandon Buford for the Bison.
And Buford almost did get a penalty for the simple reason he had no reason to touch this guy. As you go, good pressure to bring him indoor up the middle, put a little pressure, he overthrows it once again, the ball is far out of bounds, therefore he was just making sure he did not catch it, but when you have an official right there, you do not need to do that.
And there's Pete Adrian, the head coach of these Norfolk State Spartans. Adrian's team is 2-6, but they could easily be 6-2, but they've had some miscues late in their games to cause that record. Brown back to pass, has a man out there and hits him in the seams. That's Jamar Johnson, the 6'4" senior from Norfolk, making the catch for a gain of 7. Patrick John Marie made the stop for the Bison, number 53.
Patrick John Marie has made a lot of plays. You see, once again, we get that zone defense, no pass rush. John Marie's there, indoor there, but at the same time, they're dinking and picking them. Now you got a 3rd and short, but he's still eyeballing, so now they can get a little tip on this. Watch this quarterback's eyes. He's looking right at his receiver.
Watch this quarterback's legs this time, Tony. 3rd down and 3, and Brown can run for the first down here because Howard only has a 3-man front. Brown with 5 receivers in this set, and now there's a whistle and a timeout by the Bison.
It looked as if both teams were confused. It looked like Brown wanted to call a timeout as well as the Bison.
And we'll take a timeout too. Come back with no score. Howard and Norfolk State right here on HBCU Sports.
What lies within Howard is quite simply a promise that every son, every daughter of this institution will find within its halls a unique and fulfilling educational experience, the Howard Experience. Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today with solid preparation to meet the demands of an ever-evolving global society. Howard University offers students more than 120 areas of study, leading to undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees. The Howard Experience fosters creativity and allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
Norfolk State University was founded in 1935 in the midst of the Great Depression. With humble beginnings, NSU began to fulfill the dream of students seeking a college education. Today, more than 6,100 students attend NSU majoring in subjects ranging from accounting to zoology. To meet the demands of the future, NSU is positioning itself to become a science and technology powerhouse by building an applied research facility. Visit the Norfolk State University website at www.nsu.edu for more information.
Ty Miller and Tony McGee back here in Washington, D.C. with this NEAC game between Norfolk State and Howard. No score with about 4 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the first quarter. This is the 8th play of this drive coming up. So far, 33 yards and 3 minutes and 27 seconds have been taken off the clock by Norfolk State's offense. Dennis Brown moves under center. Now for the first time, Norfolk State has their fullback, Tommy Moore, in front of D'Angelo Branch. And there's a man jumping offside, and here's Branch bouncing it, and will get down to about the 26-yard line.
Initially, as you see before the timeout, they had the quarterback Brown in a position for a pass, and they had him in the shotgun. During that timeout, they changed that terminology. What they did is ran at the left side of Howard's defensive line, kicked the end out, and blocked the tackle down and ran through that hole that was wide open there, but the linebacker was cut off, which is Endor Cooper.
Gain of 6 for Branch that time, so a 2nd down and 4 for the Spartans. 1st down and 10 rather for the Spartans on the 1st down carry. And here again is Branch running to the outside. Branch with a seam, Branch inside the 5, and Branch actually gets inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent play by Branch, but that was an excellent mistake by Howard.
No containment on the right side of the defense.
That's exactly what happened. If you look at this, they're running outside. This defensive 58, Corey Berry, he takes the inside route. One thing you always know, you cannot take the inside. If you're the outside person, whether you're a linebacker or a defensive end, you keep the play on the inside of your shoulder. As you can see, he was blocked in, no containment. 1st
down and goal for Norfolk State. Ball on the 8-yard line. 4 minutes left here in the 1st quarter, no score. Brown, shotgun formation, inside handoff. Down to the 4, make it to 2-yard line, goes the running back. And that's Takeem Hedgeman on the carry. Number 22, Hedgeman, a freshman from Charlottesville, Virginia.
And he has some pretty good stats also. He's a decent running back. He's up with 177 yards and 2 TDs, and he's more of a speed back. But what Howard has to do is control that line of scrimmage a little better. With them going with the 3-man line, those outside linebackers got to do a good job of playing the run also.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and goal at the 6-yard line. Again, shotgun formation for the quarterback, Dennis Brown. Brown takes it. Again, Hedgeman on the carry. Hedgeman gets inside the 5, and he'll go down to about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Now, right there, we've seen plays, and they're jockeying back and forth, but right there, they got a good push on the Howard's defensive line. You cannot be knocked off the ball 2 or 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, and therefore giving the running back an opportunity to make the run and make cuts.
Hedgeman comes out after picking up 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and goal at the 4-yard line. Endor Cooper is out for the Bison with a shoulder injury. That information courtesy of Ron Harris. Thank you a lot, Ron, our spotter. And when he sees something happening on the sideline, he'll let us know. 3rd down and goal, 2:38 left here in the 1st quarter. No score. Man goes in motion. That's Dario Walker. Brown looking. Brown with a seam can run for the end zone, and we'll have a Norfolk State touchdown. Touchdown, Norfolk State. And the Spartans go on top 6-0 with 2:28 left here in the 1st quarter.
Without the leader in there, and then Endor Cooper down there with his pads off on the sideline, without him in there, they were able to get to that corner and cut the defensive end down once again and allow Brown, who we said he came in with almost 300 yards rushing, an opportunity to get to that corner and make a big play.
Justin Costellat looking for the PAT. Here's a snap. It's down. Kick is up, and it is good. So we're 2:28 left in the 1st quarter. New score. Norfolk State 7, Howard nothing. We'll be back with more on HBCU Sports.
At Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
flat from Spalding, true to the game.
And we're back in D.C. with Norfolk State leading Howard 7-0 with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first quarter. The Spartans scored on a 12-play drive, 65 yards. It took 5 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock, and a touchdown on a 3-yard run by Tennis Ground.
Well, as you can see, he goes out, look for the pass. No one's there. The defense didn't get cut down. The linebacker's inside. Therefore, we know this young man has some speed and can get to the corner. The thing that's problematic about that, and you know the quarterback run, he's there, but you must get containment. You can't come up inside. You must contain this young man and not allow him to get to the corner. James Carter took the inside route. That's the second time we've seen that. Corey Berry did it prior to that. These guys need to keep the play on the inside shoulder and turn it back into the teeth of the defense, whereas they can get help.
So the Bison will go back on their attack on offense, and so far in this game, Tony, they have tried their running game as opposed to their passing game. And if you are Howard, do you stick with the running game right now?
You stick with it. You have to establish something. You have to force your will, as I always tell you. Stick with that running game. Now you need to shorten the clock up anyway. You're starting to get injured. Indoor Cooper's not in there, so you want to keep that ball away from their offense. How do you do that? Ball control, run it, and be tough.
And Coach Carey Bailey set to put his team back on offense as Norfolk State sets to kick it off. And this is Justin Castellat, who will be doing the kicking chores. Brandon Drayden, one of the men back deep for the Bison, number 6, and that's who they would like to see get that ball. Castellat kicks a short kick, and here will be Drayden at the 18 to the 20, 25, 30. Braden sidesteps a guy 35, 40. 45, or actually the 43-yard line. A nice return for Brandon Drayden from Miami of Florida. His Northwestern team when he was in high school won 30 straight games and 2 straight. So the Bison now 1st and 10. At their own 42-yard line, trailing 7-0 with 2:20 left in the first quarter. Florida Hagler moves under center. Hands off to Carlos Whitaker. Whitaker getting outside to about the 45, up to about the 47-yard line for a gain of 5.
The play was designed to go into the middle of the line, but Whitaker had good vision, saw that, cut it to the outside, and picked up what he could. That's what I like about this young man. He can get outside. I would not do that as a regular place to run him, but at the same time, he does have the possibility of doing that.
And Terrell Whitehead made the stop for Norfolk State, and that's the guy who's been making most of their tackles.
And that's their free safety. That's what I tell you, if Howard goes about their business, they can dominate this line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 6 for the Bison. Whitaker under center. Actually, it's Hagler under center. Whitaker now on the carry, and Whitaker trying to get to the outside. This time chased out of bounds. Maybe lost a yard, as it was good pursuit that time, but Norfolk State's number 21, Josh Anderson, their strong safety.
Not a steady diet of trying to get him outside. Now, I know he picked it the first time, was able to get yards, but as you see there, the speed of the Norfolk defense is not enabling him to get that, and he can, as I say, get outside, but he's better inside.
The thing about the Norfolk State defense is that they are soft in the middle, speed on the corner, so if you're Howard, you want to run north and south.
Exactly, and you have your free safety with 63 tackles, so therefore I tell you that the linebackers and the defensive line is not that great.
3rd down and 6, play action fake, and Hagler being chased and has to throw it out of bounds as one of those linebackers, Hassan Craig, put pressure on him and made the stop. And we have more on Indoor Cooper, the star linebacker for the Bison. Let's go down to Susan Stark to find out what's going on with him. Susan.
One of Howard's star players, number 45, Ender Cooper, who is a senior defensive player, has a stinger in his left shoulder. And hopefully he will be back on the field soon because he has a couple of talent scouts out here looking at him. Guys, back to you.
All right, Susan, thanks a whole lot. As Patrick Wolf will kick from his own 32-yard line. And Dario Walker is one of the men back deep to receive for Norfolk State. And Walker will make a fair catch at about the 15-yard line. A stinger, Tony. Let's talk about that. What is Indoor Cooper feeling?
When you say a stinger, that's usually when you have a pinched nerve. And as we can say, well, let's say it again, Wolf kicked that one pretty well, nice punch. But what it is a pinched nerve in your neck, and usually it'll go down and make you have numbness in your arm, therefore you can't feel that arm. And those are the things that they can quiet down within a certain amount of time. Sometimes they last for weeks, sometimes they last just for the game, sometimes they only last for minutes. But a sting is a very, very hurtful thing, and it hurts when you get it, and you usually will have some kind of numbness in your arm behind that, and a lot of pain in your shoulder and arm.
And there are 5 scouts to see Endor Cooper today. We'll talk more about that. But right now, let's take a break with the timeout on the field. The score, Norfolk State 7, Howard nothing. We're back with more on HBCU Sports.
Members take 2 round trips on Acela, they get 1 free. Visit Amtrak.com for details.
At Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
And we're back here on HBCU Sports. Ty Miller and Tony McGee here in Washington, D.C., where with 1 minute and 9 seconds left in the first quarter, Norfolk State leads Howard 7-0. Now the Spartans go back on their attack. They have a first down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Before the break, we were talking about Endor Cooper, who has a stinger for the Howard Bison, number 45. And 5 NFL scouts are in town to see him today. Dallas, New Orleans, Denver, Atlanta, and the Rams. In all, Tony, 12 different scouts have been out to see this young man. And sometimes, I guess, if you want to get noticed, you say you have to play through pain if you can.
Yes, you do. And what they usually do with a stinger, and what they used to do with us, I know that was back in eons ago, but they would put a horse collar on us where you cannot really put it around your neck, where you can't really turn your head a whole lot of different ways.
A horse collar?
That's what we called it. And that stopped that stinging. What Endor does need to do is get out there and let them know he will play hurt. That's what scouts want to see.
You must have lived there in medieval times. First and 10 for Norfolk State. Here's D'Angelo Branch, who make it number 22, his backup on the carry that time. And he got outside for a few yards. That was Takeem Hedgeman on the carry. Hedgeman got 6 yards to get the ball up to the 22-yard line.
But all of Howard's defensive linemen and linebackers are not playing the run well, and what they have to do is play that outside well and turn it back into the defense. Now they do not have big Endor in there, and now the middle linebacker is not making a ton of plays like he usually is. But fundamentally, they have to keep that play inside.
Second down and 4. Hedgeman again on the carry. Hedgeman looking for running room, but the Howard defense stacks him up there. Number 48, one of the guys on the stop there for the Bison. And that was Will Croner. Croner plays fullback sometime. Also, Saki Kirkland, number 96, happened to make that stop that time.
I told you I like Croner. I like the way he plays. He has a low center of gravity, and also that big Saki making the play. But really what made that play was the outside linebacker turn it back into the teeth of the defense. I will keep harping on that, because if they do not do that, this team will run on them each and every play successfully.
Time running out here in the first quarter, 7-0. It is Norfolk State on top of Howard. And when the teams change field position here, it will be a 3rd down and 4 for the Spartans as you look at head coach Pete Adrian at Norfolk State. And with that being the case, the end of the first quarter, Howard's trailing Norfolk State 7-0. We'll take a timeout on HBCU Sports.
spend some time in ours.
At Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
You know what? You've earned this. Never fled from Spalding. True to the game.
You're watching Black College football here on HBCU Sports. We're back here in Washington, D.C. Not a cloud in the sky on this sunny Saturday. Ty Miller and Tony McGee here. Howard trails Norfolk State 7-0 as we head to the second quarter. And the Spartans, once they snap it, will have a 3rd down and 3 at their own 23-yard line. So far, Tony, your impression of what the Spartans have done?
Well, what the Spartans have done is really running the ball, trying to mix it up pretty good, but also putting the ball in the hand of Dennis Brown, whereas he can make a play running our passing. So really what he's doing is controlling the game.
And there's Dennis Brown right there with a 3rd down and 3. Brown asking for the snap count, and there comes a pink flag. And that will be illegal motion on Norfolk State.
Dead ball prior to the snap. False start, number 60. Offense, 5 yards. It remains 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 8 now. Other NBA action going on this afternoon. First quarter score, Delaware State trailing South Carolina State 6-0. South Carolina State, the 2nd-ranked team in black college football. Delaware State, the defending MEAC champions. That game being played down in Dover, Delaware. So 3rd down and 8 for Norfolk State. Ball backed up to their 17-yard line. The Spartans in their green pants with their yellow jerseys and yellow helmets. Dennis Brown, shotgun formation, single setback right near him. 3 men in the set. Brown takes it back, looking, has a pass out there, and Jamar Johnson makes the catch, and they say it's out of bounds as a flag comes in from the back judge. That was a great catch. I don't know what happened there, but it looks to me as if he made that reception.
I saw them working on that during the whole warm-ups, and they were working on the receiver getting close to the out-of-bounds marker and having a defensive player on him, and the receiver adjusting his body to make the catch. And that's exactly what they were working on. That was an excellent play by the
And there's the pink flag in honor of breast awareness month, breast cancer awareness month there. Here's a call from the referee.
We have pass interference, offense, penalties declined, 4th down.
That pass interference call on Jamar Johnson. He was going against Martin December, number 11 for the Bison.
And you can see what happened is he pushed off a little bit, and as I tell you, they worked on that pattern readily during the whole warm-up. So that is something we will see again today. And you can see what they're trying to do is use the sideline against the defensive back where the receiver gets over there and adjusts himself. But unfortunately, that time he pushed off to adjust his body.
And the receiver never made the catch. So Justin Costellat will punt it out. And this will be Brandon Drayton at the 41. Drayton makes one man miss, but not the next man, as he is tackled by number 21, Josh Anderson for Norfolk State.
Everyone is talking about the special teams and the kickers, but it's not just the kickers. You have a unit, and the unit is supposed to first protect and then rush and then try to cover. What you have to do at the same time, you do your job well. As you can see there, when the receiver caught the ball, it was 3 men there, so that tells me that no one's blocking for him.
So the Bison, though, have pretty good field position. 1st down and 10 at the 43-yard line. And we'll see what happens this time as they come out. with two receivers wide, one to the left and one to the right. And Ramon McElrathbey, the deep setback in the eye. Hagler, the quarterback, under center. Play action fake now, end around to Brandon Drayden. Drayden's going to be hemmed up behind the line of scrimmage and gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage, maybe lost one back to the 42. That play took a long time to develop.
It took a long time. Xavier Fowler, who is the end defensive tight end over here, was supposed to make the crack right. As you see, Brandon gets the ball, he gives a little bit to try to miss this guy. And here you'll see the tight end coming there. He should have been blocking that guy instead of going back there. What was he going to do, take the handoff from Brandon? I don't know. But he should have been making the block to free Brandon.
So second down, 11 for the Bison, as they're backed up to their own 42-yard line. Hagler again under center. McElrathbey deep in the eye. Three-step drop, pump fake. Now he throws it out there, and the ball's going to be incomplete, intended for Orlandis Hood.
There we go. That's his second three-step drop. One thing I've noticed on those 3-second drop, Hood must get this young man involved in the game for the simple aspect he's kind of their go-to guy. He has over 40 catches, so you get the ball to him. But Hood, I mean, when you say Hagler, he gets that three-step drop, he has propensity to throw it either high or low.
The Bison playing it safe on offense, seemingly in this first quarter. Now with a third down, 11, they have to go downfield to get this first down. 4 wide receivers in this set. McElrathbey a single setback. Check that, make that Brandon Drayden in the eye along with the quarterback. Here's Hagler looking. Had a man open, but could not hit him at the 45 of Norfolk State. That was intended for number 6, Brandon Drayden.
It seems like Drayden is the individual they feel can make the play, but what we need to see is just another three-step drop, because that was a low pass. Drayden was right there. You see 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now he throws. The first one was high. That one was low. It's something about that three-step drop. And the thing that you see with Hagler, 3 steps, I don't know, he seems to throw down low or high with that, but when you take him back 7 and let him come up to 5, he throws a lot better.
Patrick Wolf back deep to kick for the Bison. High snap, but he gets it off, and a nice spiral out there. That's going to drive the Norfolk State punt returner back to the 10. Up to the 15, and will be dragged down. No, he gets away and makes a move up over the 20 to about the 22-yard line.
Now that's what I call coverage. That's what you need to do. You need to get him down there, make him string it out, use his blockers up, and then get someone on him to take him down. And then you'll have a gang of people coming to help you.
Dario Walker on the kick, on the return rather. There's a 47-yard kick and a 12-yard return by Walker.
As you can see, penetration right there, and there's Kroner again. He makes him turn him back in to the teeth of the people coming down, and then you get all your players. That's how you play special teams.
So first and 10, Norfolk State. They lead at 7-0 with 13:36 left in the first half. And there again is Walker on the return.
Always make him turn in, make him have to go back, not let him get to the corner. They need to do the same thing defensively.
Here's a man going in motion. And Brown, the quarterback, takes it. Quick hit out there to the fullback. And the fullback bulls his way. That's number 40, the big fullback, Sean Childress. Make that the tight end. Sharon Childress for Norfolk State.
They're playing a man zone, and when I say that, they're playing man on one side, zone on the other. When the quarterback throw it right here in that little zone area, and as I said, behind the linebacker, in front of the defensive back, let that fullback come out the backfield and get it to him, and he picks up positive yardage. If they're going to play that man zone, which the man on one side, zone on the other, that zone side has to make the play.
Gain of 11, first down and 10, and here's Walker up to about the 45, make it the 46-yard line. Make it D'Angelo Branch on the carry for Norfolk State.
Now, Norfolk State has found out we can run the corners, and that's what they're doing. As you can see, go right to the corner, kick the end out, cut off the defensive tackle, which is Kroner, and he's really not a defensive tackle. He's a fullback by trade, but at the same time, you cut that, hit the linebacker, knock him out, knock the defensive end in, and you have a lane to run there.
Branch picked up another first down, so the Spartans now have the ball up to their 45-yard line. 12:50 left before halftime. Dennis Brown, shotgun formation, 2 men back. And here's a fake and a man wide open. Childress, the big tight end, running down to the 15, knocked down at about the 13-yard line. That was wide open, Tony.
just not playing your defense. If you look at this, a normal play, he just leaks out. He's right there in the open. No one in that middle can even look for him. Therefore, that was a blown coverage somewhere. Someone needed to pick him up as he come out. As you'll notice right there, it was quick. No one there. They bid on the play action, and they thought it was a run. Everybody come up and play the run, and you have someone running free in your defensive backfield.
And Childress picked up the number on his uniform, 40 yards on that big pass play. First down and 10 for Norfolk State at the Howard 15-yard line. They lead 7-0. Here's Dennis Brown faking, being chased out of the pocket. Brown running back to his right. Brown trying to pick a block up. Gets down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line for a gain of 7.
You can clearly see without their leader in there, and that's Endor Cooper. You can clearly see right now that this defense is kind of really reaching and trying to find something. What someone needs to do is step up right now. You're going to have injuries. We've seen James Carter play well. We've seen Corey Berry. But if you see Endor down there, it must be more than a stinger. If it were a stinger, they would have ice on and try to get him back in. For him to be sitting there with a towel over his head and no pads on, that's a problem.
First down and goal. I'll make it second down and 4. And that was Branch on the carry, and Branch chased back inside. Saki Kirkler making the stop for the Bison.
What'll happen when you lose a big guy like Endor? First of all, your defense has lost its #1 player, so they're in shock. So what they'll do, they'll walk around a little bit dazed for a while, but then someone needs to make a play. Once that someone makes a play, someone else will make one. You can't give up because you've lost one player. Even though he's a great player, you must play more as a defensive unit.
Now, with the pads off and the ice on, does it mean he's out for the game?
Well, he's out for the rest of this half at least, but I see him continuing to try to move it, and it looked as if it had loosened up somewhat. They're probably evaluating at halftime.
Third down and 4, ball at the 9-yard line for Norfolk State. Brown takes a snap. Brown throws a fade out there, and Jamar Johnson makes the catch in the end zone for a Spartan touchdown.
That is that pattern that they worked on time and time again, and what they do is fade away to the sideline and get inside the defensive back, let the quarterback just throw it up, and the receiver adjust his body. As you can see, they were going there right away. He looks right over there, throws it up towards the sideline, and the only person could get it is his wide receiver.
Martin December listed at 6'1", and the receiver Johnson listed at 6'4". I think he has a few more inches on Mr. December than that.
And that's what, that fade route would do. If you have a big receiver, it's 2 routes that they can run. They can run that quick end or that fade, and they were running the fade there, and that allowed, they got these big receivers that can make that catch.
And unsportsmanlike conduct on Norfolk State for a celebration after that touchdown. So it's going to be assessed on the kickoff, 15 yards, but here comes the PAT. Castellock will attempt it for Norfolk State.
Johnson threw the ball down on December. December was on the ground. He threw it down and threw the ball on top of it.
And here's Castellock, kicks it up, and it is good. So a new score with 10 minutes and 33 seconds left here in the second quarter. The Norfolk State Spartans now lead the Howard Bison by the score of 14-0. We'll take a timeout and come back with more on HBCU Sports.
Rewards members take 2 round trips on Acela, they get 1 free. Visit Amtrak.com for details.
And we're back here at HBCU Sports. Ty Miller and Tony McGee, where the Norfolk State Spartans lead the Howard Bison 14-0. That last drive, 6 plays, 77 yards. It took 3 minutes and 3 seconds. A 9-yard pass from quarterback Dennis Brown to the wide receiver, Jamar Johnson. And Johnson spiked the ball. That's number 11 right there, Johnson, who spiked it after the touchdown reception on Martin December, the defender. So Norfolk State will be assessed a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff, Tony.
And you never know. This may be something to help Howard get a little momentum. You do not have to do that. You made the play. You made a nice catch. You got the touchdown. You do not need to throw it on there. Speaking of Norfolk, what they have done is put together a very good offensive series. And what they're doing is they're utilizing their quarterback, allowing him to throw and run. They're running the ball, and then they're doing that fade route. If you'll notice, every series, that's what they're doing. Howard, as we said, right now they're in a little bit of transition. They're going without their signal caller as well as their best player, so now they must play. They can start this by getting a good field position on this kickoff, because now they had a 15-yard penalty, so that gives you 15 more yards. Get a good run back right now and let your offense work.
Castleback will kick it out for the Spartans from his own 15-yard line. Brandon Drayden back deep along with Martin December for the Bison. Here's Castleback's approach, and this will be Martin December at the 21. December 25, 30, 35, 40, up to about the 43-yard line to start the drive where they started their last drive.
And you know, that was a very good run by December. If you remember a few years ago when that's what he was doing mostly, when he was a quarterback, a wide receiver, running back, kickoff returner, then defensive back, we said he was an excellent special teams player. And that's what they need on special teams. Give this offense a short field. Give them less field to work with and give them more of an opportunity. Now, if I was Coach Bailey, I would still stick with my game plan. But as we see, he's gone to the 5 wideouts, so now they have abandoned the running game.
The Bison need a spark, and let's see if the passing game does it for them. As Hagler goes in shotgun formation, 3-step drop, pats his feet, throws it out there, and intended for the wide receiver. Incomplete, as Daley Gunter was the intended receiver, but that was nowhere near Daley Gunter.
And there you said it. When you said 3-step drop, right away that's a red flag going up, because when he does a 3-step drop, I don't know why he has a problem. Sometimes he'll throw it low, high. Sometimes he throw it off his back foot. But that 3-step drop or shorter seems to give.
What about the patting of the feet, though, Tony? Excuse me for it. But what about the patting of the feet when he did?
I don't know if it's so much the foot or if it's the motion.
Again, a 3-step drop. And this time he's going to be chased out of the pocket, runs it out, gets good yardage midfield into Norfolk State territory for a first down at the Spartan 40-yard line.
And very well could have been a face mask. Now, that's what you like to see the young man do. Make a quick decision. And in prior games, we said he did not make a quick. As you see it, he's there, no man there. He tries to look for a secondary. He tucks it down and get positive yardage rather than standing there and taking a sack.
15-yard gain for the quarterback, Floyd Hagler.
And one thing we did see, he did look in the middle first, then he looked to his right. So we like to see that he is looking at safety off somewhere.
1st and 10 at the Norfolk State 40. Again, a quick pass picked off by Norfolk State, and running the other way for the end zone is Joshua August for a Norfolk State touchdown. 61-yard touchdown return of an interception from Floyd Hagler.
I guarantee when you see this and when you look at it, I guarantee that he would have looked at his receiver the whole time, and the defensive players looked at his eyes, knew exactly where he was going to throw it. I'm thinking of Hagler. Now, when we get an opportunity for a replay, let's watch his eyes and his head. He goes back. He's looking right there where he's going to throw it. He never looked anyone off, and he threw it right to the defensive player. That's what we're talking about. You always say, what are you talking about, eyeballing? That's what that is.
And check that, make it Corwin Hammond on the return, the linebacker for the Spartans. And that makes it a 21-0 game. We'll take a timeout and come back with more on HBCU Sports.
You know what? You've earned this. fled from Spalding. True to the game.
At Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
And we're back here in Washington, D.C., where Norfolk State's celebrating right now. 9:43 left before halftime. The Spartans with a huge 21-0 cushion on the Howard Bison. The last touchdown was a 61-yard return for a TD by Corin Hammond. And that was a fourth interception return for a touchdown this year off the arm of Howard's quarterback, Floyd Hagler.
And one thing that we say that Hagler has to do, and we know this is his first full year of really starting, but he has to start looking those receivers off, looking those defensive backs off.
Susan Stark is doing our sideline reporting this afternoon. Let's go down to her right now. Susan.
Hi, we have Ashley Simpkin, the captain of the cheerleading squad, and she's going to tell us about Safio. Can you tell us about what this shirt is?
Sure. Safio is student athletes for educational opportunities, and what it have is a t-shirt that says Student Athletes for Life, and you have my picture here. It's promoting educational opportunities for students who are also athletes.
Well, tell us, is it hard being a student and an athlete?
It's definitely hard, but I've always been involved in athletes, and I've been in athletics since I've been in high school, so I was able to work, cheer, and go to school. So I was easy for me to adjust when I came to college.
Great. Sounds like a lot of fun. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Susan. And as we get back to action here, Norfolk State will be kicking out to the Bison, who are down 21-0. So, Tony, the Bison need to spark on offense, and they have to get something going. But would you abandon the running game right now?
No, and I would not have abandoned it the last time. I think right now you were 14 down, you're 21 down now, but you have to establish something. As we can notice, and we said that with Norfolk, they have established a game plan. Howard has not.
Pooch kick by Justin Castellat that Howard will fair catch at the 35-yard line. And that was a good piece of strategy because they were trying to keep the ball away from number 6, Brandon Drayton.
Exactly. He's been their one big threat that they've had all day. What Howard needs to do right now is settle down. You're 21 down. Don't get into the thought process that we've lost this game already. I've seen teams come back from 21 down. They just need to start, and what will happen with a young team? Somebody will do something to get that spark going. They need that on both offense and defense.
Well, they come out 5 wide in this set. Hagler in shotgun formation again. 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Norfolk State in its traditional 3-4 defense. Hagler back in shotgun formation, directing traffic. He takes a 3-step drop. Now being chased out. Now has to run out of the pocket, and he'll get over the 35 to about the 37-yard line as one of the linebackers, number 5, Mike Alphonse, came up to make the stop for the Spartans.
And what we're seeing is one thing we have seen, and we've also said, okay, he's not looking at receivers off, but we've seen Hagler make more quick decisions. Now when you look at Norfolk, their defense is very mobile. Their defensive line, as we said, they do not make a lot of tackles, but they eat up space. Their linebackers move around. So now what the Bison have to do is figure out how to penetrate that.
2nd down and 7, and a quick pass out there intended for Daley Gunter, nearly intercepted because Gunter had his hand on it but fumbled it away, and he was fortunate the ball wasn't picked off again.
Not a bad play, though. It was right on target. It was just sometimes you have to give the defensive back. But still, he's looking directly at the receiver he's going to. He must start looking these defensive backs off.
3rd down and 7 for the Bison. Ball back at their 37 with 9 minutes and 3 seconds left here in the second quarter. Norfolk State's on top 21-0.
Plus in Hagler's defense, when the receiver gets his hand on the ball, he must catch that also.
Here's Hagler, shotgun formation, 5 receivers. Looking, has a man open, but throws it behind the intended receiver, Arlandis Hood. That time he threw the ball at his feet.
I don't know, and he was in a shotgun. He went back 2 or 3 steps again. It's something psychologically to me, and I'm just saying that I don't know that for sure, that when he goes back, Hagler goes back 3 steps on any kind of drop, he seems to have a problem. But when he goes start at 7 and come up to 5, when he's moving forward, he seems to do a lot better.
Patrick Wolf back to kick. Dwight Fluker-Berry, number 33, and Dario Walker, number 19, back deep to receive this punt for the Norfolk State Spartans. High snap, and Wolf gets it out there, end over end kick that will bounce at the 33 and be down by the Bison at the Norfolk State 28-yard line.
Now, you know, throughout this game, we got to say Wolf has done a very good job. There's Hagler there, and someone need to be speaking with him. Quarterback coach or something saying, look, you need to get your feet set, stop throwing off of your back foot, throw off your forward, look your receivers, look your defensive backs off of your help yourself. He can do those couple of things. He has the arm. He also has the ability to make plays, but he must get his rudiments or his techniques down a little bit.
Coach Kerry Bailey, what's he thinking right now, Tony?
Here we go again. And I'm telling you, he's seen this show over and over, but what he has to be saying, what can I do to make my team consistent?
1st and 10 for the Spartans at the 30-yard line. Dennis Brown, shotgun formation. And with a lead of 21-0, they seem like they want to put some more points on right now. And they go deep. Walker's out there. Walker is going to be interfered with. And there's the flag. Because the defensive back never looked at the ball.
Never looked, and he tackled the receiver before the ball was there.
Brandon Buford on the infraction for the Bison.
And as you see, Buford had it pretty good, but he was afraid of that speed, and I think he misjudged the speed, and the man got behind him, and before the
Pass
ball was there, a
interference.
lot of times
Number 27.
A little play.
Defense, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, automatic. First down.
If he would look back as if he's making a play. As you can see right there, he never looked back. No pass rush to begin with. Then he's throwing it. There it is. He's not looking back. You must look back when you watch the receiver's eyes, but he hits it before the ball gets there. Never gave him an opportunity.
A lot of defensive backs watch the receiver and then try to watch their motion when they go to make the catch, and that's where they make their mistakes.
That's why Jerry Rice used to say he never put his hands up to the last moment, because a good defensive back, Darrell Green, did that excellently, will watch that receiver. Once he make a move, you make a move.
1st and 10 for the Spartans at the 45-yard line now. Brown shotgun formation. D'Angelo Branch back there, but here's a quick pass too high for the intended receiver that time. That time he hung Dario Walker out to dry.
Some kind of way with them playing this zone and this man zone, which is manning up one man and zoning the other side, they must get some pressure. So they may have to go to a zone, and they may have to go all man and really bring some people off the ends, bring some linebackers and some safety, because they need to get pressure on this guy, because he's not the greatest thrower. He only came with a little over 1,000 yards. We know he can run the ball, but make him beat you by throwing the ball.
2nd down and 10 for the Spartans at the 45-yard line. 8 minutes and 41 seconds before the half. And here's the end-around play. Walker being chased out. Now Walker looking for some running room. Gets up to midfield and out of bounds at the 48 into Bison territory. That's a gain of 7.
You have to make that play. When you diagnose the play and you read it, you got to cover, keep him inside. There's that containment again. They read the play well. Okay, here you go with the reverse. Defensive end, come upfield. Do not come inside. Do not let them on the outside. Play it and keep it in containment. We have said that time and time again. You cannot take the inside route. That is the worst place to do it. James Carter did that. He diagnosed and played the play well, but then he took the inside. All you young football players out there, you always keep the play on your inside shoulder, not on the outside.
2nd down and 3 now for the Spartans. Again, shotgun formation. There's a man in motion. That's D'Angelo Branch, the running back. Brown, the quarterback, takes it out there, and he hits Branch out there near the first down. So a flag comes in. And I'm not sure if that's interference. It might be an interference on the offense, if anything. Might be a pick play.
He may be late hit on the quarterback, and I'm hoping it's not. First time they get pressure.
That came from the side judge. Illegal shift on Norfolk State. I knew there was something that happened between those two receivers out there.
See, we're getting paranoid ourselves. What is it? Is it a hit? Is it a push? Is it? What it is they're making a play now. And this could be the thing that turns Howard around. You got 7:59 left in the second, 21 points.
Illegal motion, number 3 on the offense. Penalties decline, 4th down.
So That time the receiver
As you
turned
take a
upfield
look
too
at
soon.
it, okay, he comes out. He's up over the line of scrimmage. He never stopped moving, and that's what happened. This receiver, when he was coming up and set, you had to be set for a second before you could take off. He came up and he was hopping, and he never set himself. That was the illegal
So
motion.
Billy Rudd will punt it out there for Norfolk State, and Rudd will punt it to Drayden. Drayden makes the reception at the 15 and will be knocked down after a gain of 5 at the 20. Norfolk State content to keep Howard between the 20s because the Bison, most of this first half, Tony, have had good field position. This might be their worst starting position of the first half.
But one thing that you said in the opening as well as we spoke about, they still haven't established what identity am I going to have? Am I going to be a smash mouth, run the ball, or am I going to pass the ball? Norfolk's coach knows this, and he knows right now that this is the time they haven't made their identity so he can turn his defense loose.
Well, the Bison go back to the running game. Carlos Whitaker goes over right tackle, and Whitaker goes to about the line of scrimmage. So, Tony, maybe they caught a sneak preview of what you were talking about there in terms of run the ball again.
And, you know, what they're not allowing is their offensive line, which they love to do. They like to be tough guys, and they let them be tough. I don't care. You're not getting first down passing. Let them go in there, and I like what they're doing. That's 2 runs, so what? You haven't got a first down. Give them 3 runs. Give them whatever they need. Try to really start controlling that line of scrimmage.
That time the Norfolk State defense controlled the line of scrimmage as Whitaker picked up only 1 to bring up a 3rd down and 9. So the Spartans with a 21-0 lead, looking to break a 5-game losing streak, while the Bison on a 3-game skid. And again, under center is quarterback Floyd Hagler, as you look at one of the injured Bison on the sideline, Jake Cunningham. Hagler under center. Now back to pass, quick in route to Hood, and Hood cannot make the reception. That's one he should still be running with.
Yeah, but it was thrown behind him. If you look once again, you got your quarterback looking at the receiver makes a quick in. If he'd have thrown that on rhythm, he's looking right at it, throw it, but it was a little bit behind him. See, that pass should have been on the inside, and he caught that, he'd still be running right now if it would have been thrown in the right position.
Patrick Wolf back deep to kick near his own 5-yard line for the Bison. Walker back deep to receive it for Norfolk State. And here's Wolf, high kick out there. And this will be Walker at the 34. Walker up to the 40 with blockers. Walker midfield looking for more. Walker trips and still going down to the 30. Walker to the 20. Walker down to the Howard 14-yard line. Tony, you're speechless.
No, if you take a look at this, once again, it comes down to containment, each man doing his job, staying in his lane, and we do not have this. As you see, he comes down. You got players there, but now he gets over behind the wall. He's going on down the line of scrimmage. Look at these guys. All that slow running and stuff. You can't have that. This is the time that Kerry Barely need to call some of these guys over the sideline and ask them this. Do you want your scholarship?
So you're saying it's time for Coach Bailey to do a Mike Singletary.
Exactly. You know what? I'm not saying he should do a lot of what Mike Singletary has done, but at the same time, he needs to get tough with these guys because they're not putting the effort out.
21-0, Norfolk State on top. Back with more on HBCU Sports.
members take 2 round trips on Acela, they get 1 free. Visit Amtrak.com for details.
6:09 before halftime. Ty Miller and Tony McGee back here at Green Stadium, where Norfolk State leads Howard 21-0. The Bison with another injury, and to tell us about that, Susan Stark. Susan.
Things are not looking good for Howard, and to make things worse, we have another injured player. Yes, we have defensive back number 20, J.C. Cunningham. He is icing his right ankle, and this means he's out of the game. Tony, Ty, back to you.
Okay, Susan. Tony, you've had the ankle injury before.
Ankle injuries are pretty tough because that is a weight-bearing joint, and when you put that weight on there, which you have to walk on it, some people like me that weigh a little more than you is even worse, but at the same time, ankles are pretty tough. Hard to get back. A lot of times people say they'd rather have a broken something than a twisted ankle because those ankles are very hard and long recovery.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line up that 47-yard punt return by Dario Walker for Norfolk State. Spartans looking for more points before halftime. Dennis Brown under center. Hands off to D'Angelo Branch. Branch trying to bounce it to the outside, but Patrick Jean-Marie and the rest of the Howard defense will not allow him to do that.
And this is where they need to make a stand. You know, one thing I'm always looking for, and as I said, Coach Bailey need to make sure these players do not quit on him. And see, you can't blame everything on the coaches. Sometimes players have a tendency also when you get behind or a season not going well, not to put out the effort. That's what he must keep them putting out the effort.
Defense, 5 yards, repeat the down.
Offsides on the Howard defense, so that's going to give the Spartans 5 yards to the 10-yard line, so a 1st down and 5.
Have you ever noticed how also whatever way a team's season or game is going, sometimes the officials seem to fit right into that. Now, you look at the last plays that they're calling, I mean, you know, offside Howard. I mean, there's been offsides we've seen, like they could have called some face masks against Norfolk, but they seem to fall right into that saying, oh, they're a bad team, so they play bad.
Well, that was not a good thing for the Bison that time, that 5-yard penalty moving the Spartans closer to another score with 5:50 left in the first half. Now Brown comes out in shotgun formation. Hedgeman and Branch in the backfield alongside him. Takes a snap. Play action fake. No, he hands off to Hedgeman. Hedgeman inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line for a gain of 3. And you look at the body language right now on the sidelines of the Howard Bison team, and there is no enthusiasm right now.
Well, not on the sideline or the field, and you know that was notable before the game. I did not see a lot of fire like we've seen in the past. We did not see players rallying with each other. We saw them just going business as usual.
2nd down and 3, and here again is a running play, and it's going to be Hedgeman, and Hedgeman will make it Branch into the end zone for another Spartan score. D'Angelo Branch from Norfolk, Virginia, a redshirt sophomore, slashes through the Bison defense to make it Norfolk State 27, Howard 0.
And you know, as a freshman, he had 3 TDs and 371 yards. So this guy know how to get to the end zone. He came in with 654 yards and 6 TDs, so he knows his way into the end zone.
Castellat on the PAT. It is up, and it is good. Norfolk State well on its way as you look at D'Angelo Branch, who just ran for that touchdown.
As you see, straight play, knocking the man. No white jersey on line of scrimmage. All of them put my turn inside. I mean, you know, that's just something you can't have. That's at the point of attack. Howard is being beaten there very badly.
That drive, 3 plays, 15 yards, took 1 minute and 8 seconds off the clock. Now Norfolk State well on their way to breaking their 5-game losing streak, up 28-0 with 5 minutes left here in the first half. Indoor Cooper, that's good news for the Bison, has put his pads back on. They could have used him on that play, right?
Well, I'm not surprised with him being a leader. And as you can notice, what you laughed at, they're putting a horse collar on Indoor Cooper. As I'm saying, to keep his head from going side to side and pinching that nerve again. It seems as though he may not want it, but that horse collar is so important. I had to play a whole year or 2 with that after I got a couple of pinched nerves. If you do not take care of those nerves, they'll just get more and more irritated. What'll happen is they'll feel better, then you pinch them again, and the injury is right back.
Is that on the top of your shoulder?
Yes, it's right between the neck and the shoulder.
So here's a high pooch kick by Castellot that will go out of bounds, and the Bison will get good field position at the 40-yard line.
Smart play.
Howard needs to do something here. You know, they need to get something on the board before halftime. They've got to be consistent either with the running game or the problem with the passing game, Tony, as you've noted all afternoon, is that Hagler, the quarterback, is eyeballing his receivers.
Oh, he's been doing that throughout the year. But what you have to be cognizant of, this Norfolk team, they coming off 5 straight losses themselves. So they're not sold on they've won this game. All it would take is 1 or 2 plays, and they will go back into their shell just as the Howard has gone. But what has to happen is they need to make some plays, and they need to make them quick. Do not put it on the quarterback. Get that identity, tough or whatever, run the ball.
1st and 10 Bison at the 40-yard line. Hagler, play action fake, inside handoff to the running back. Is that McElrathbey? We'll check him when he gets off his back. But Howard's picked up 3 yards. That time, Carlos Whitaker on the carry, number 4.
And that's a misdirection. They had Carlos, he lined up to the right, and he came back to his left, and misdirection play. Very good play. Picked up 4 yards. When you get 4 yards on first down, that gives you a lot of options on 2nd and 3rd.
2nd and 6 now. 4:34 left before halftime. Hagler under center again. McElrathbey deep in the eye behind the fullback, Kroner. Here's a handoff, and McElrathbey cuts it back. Gets near the first down up to about the 49-yard line.
That's what I like to see. I want to see you at least attempt to run the ball, at least to establish yourself as being tough. I know those offensive linemen are biting at the bit. They get tired of sitting up trying to just. They need to see their man on man, hand it to your man, let him make some moves and make people miss, and now you're starting to see them do something. But what I do not like about that script right there, you saw 4 yellow jerseys. Got to have fewer than that.
3rd down and 1. McElrathbey runs, and he'll be near the first down marker.
It'll be a bad spot if they do not give it to him, and he made it on his own. At the point of attack, he was there, but I thought he got across there, and they did get the first down. Now, you've got your first really good first down. You've run the ball consistently. Continue to do that. You got 3:46 left in the half. Establish something now because, as you know, Ty, the 3rd quarter is an important quarter.
Midfield for the Bison now. 1st and 10. 3:36 left before halftime. Play action fake. No, another handoff. This is going to be Whitaker. Whitaker's going to be stopped, but not before he gets down inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line.
Okay, let's take note. 3:24 of the 2nd quarter. They're working on their second first down running the ball. Let's start watching the body language of Norfolk. I'm seeing it already. They said, wait a minute, these guys shouldn't be running. They thought that Howard was going to quit. Now Howard can start making some moves. Get some points on the board before halftime, and I tell you, I guarantee you it'll be a different game second half. 2nd
down and 3 now. Ball at the 44 of Norfolk State. Another run. Whitaker running to his right, cuts it back in the middle, gets near and gets another first down for the Bison. Tackle made by Terrell Whitehead again, and one of the linebackers, Dante Hodge, for Norfolk State.
Anytime your free safety come into a game with 63 tackles and the nearest man to him has 30, and he's a linebacker, that's telling me that you can penetrate that front line, which is that defensive line, and the second line, which is the linebackers.
Keep running now. 2:48 left before halftime.
Yes, you do. Keep running. Maybe hit a big one when you get down close, but right now you're establishing something.
Ball at the 39. Hagler under center. Whitaker in the eye. Whitaker takes the handoff and will get back to the line of scrimmage. That time the Norfolk State defense rolls up, led by number 95, Ray Jennings, to make that stop.
Now, you made a very valid point right there, and as you can see, they got the playmaker in quick sixes. We call him P.J. Hayden. Get the ball to him. This is a good time for a play action. You set that up a couple times with this run. They're looking more for the run right now. Right now, on this 2nd and long, you can do either or. This may be good for a play action or run it again.
2nd down and 9. The Bison need to get down to the 29 for a first down. Here's McElrathbey, cuts it back, looking to get outside, but a flag comes in, and this was going to come back as McElrathbey gets it outside and will go down the sideline for a Bison touchdown, but there's a flag back at the 47-yard line.
That is too bad. He made an excellent run, and that flag is on a lineman that was away from the play.
Ramon McElrathbey ran it for a touchdown, but it's coming back because that holding call is on the Bison.
Number 77, offense.
Sean
10
Wolford
yards,
on the
repeat
infraction.
second down.
And he's a senior, 6'4", 275, Columbia, South Carolina. You can't have that happen. He was trying to make a play, so no fault. But what you like about here is the running back,
there.
point of attack. Yes, he did take it down, but it's an excellent moves by the running back to get free and making things happen. Now, what you're starting to see, even though they called that back, Howard now knows we can't get in the end zone. Let's see what we can keep doing, and all of this is because they've been running the ball.
Second down and 19 now, but only 1:44 left before halftime. And there's a timeout on the field, and the Bison will talk about this because right now might be time to abandon this successful running game on this series and go to the air.
They may have to because they do want to get at least 3. And I tell you what, that young man right there, that's the best run I've seen by a Howard running back this year.
Ramon McElrathbey, Ray Ray is what they call him. You know, he's seen more playing time the last few games for the Bison.
Ray, when he came in, they had a big story about how he was taking care of his younger brother and how he transferred from Clemson and everything. And this young man just haven't gotten the opportunity because I think of the game plan to really contribute. But when you do see him and you see what he can do, he comes in and show you that he is a very good back. And right here, you can't run this in. That's Gale Sayre type move. Nice hips, good vision, make the man miss, push him down, then have the speed to go all the way and take it to the house.
Well, it's real easy, though, when your offensive line is holding, too, though, right?
Well, now, that was at the point of attack on the other side of the field. Give the guy credit. He did something good there.
Second down and 19, 1:44 left before halftime. Bison back at their 48-yard line. Hagler shotgun formation, back to pass, screen play. Whitaker has it midfield into Norfolk State territory, down to the 40, 35-30, down to the 23-yard line for a Bison first down.
As I told you, we were going to write down 323. We started to see a little different than the body language. You're starting to see them make plays. But it all began when they started to get 2 first down. Nice little screen. He did look the other way. Get it to Whitaker. Whitaker is tough out there in the field. Strong, make a man miss, and then make the nice cut back into the teeth of the defense. You're going to get hit, but picking up positive yards all the way.
Gain of 24 for Carlos Whitaker, and another timeout on the field. As you see Whitaker making that first down reception and carry for the Bison. And when play resumes, the Bison will be first and 10 at their own 24-yard line. So, Tony, I guess, you know, running is what you have to do to get back into this game. You don't pass the ball and pass the ball. You have to establish something, and they have established a run here late in the second quarter.
They have identity now, and don't think that Pete Adrian doesn't know that, and that's why he's concerned right now. And he also is very much aware that if Howard continues to do this successfully and score some points here, albeit 3, that at the same time, they're going to be concerned because they haven't done anything the whole game. Now they start this off with 2 running, successful first down. They're moving the ball. I tell you, establish identity.
First down and 10, Bison at the 24-yard line. Floyd Hagler, the quarterback, goes in shotgun formation. Ramon McElrathbey, the single setback. Takes a snap and hands off to McElrathbey, down to the 20. Inside the 10-5, touchdown, Howard Bison.
As I told you, look at the body language. We can look at those gold and Green Bay looking uniforms they got out there. You start to see the heads drop. You start to see the men being fitted into blocks. You start to see the offensive lineman of Howard putting the pressure on. And now you're starting to see Howard pick it up. As you can see, nice play here. Late draw, delayed draw, that's all it was. But they know Ray can make those type of moves, and he has that speed. Get him more involved in the game.
So the Bison get on the board with 1:19 left in the first half. But again, the kicking woes continue on the point after attempt as they were going. They were forced to go for 2. And it's going to be a 28-6 score. 8 plays, 60 yards, 3 minutes and 42 seconds. They score 6, but come up short on the 1. So it's 28-6 with 1:19 before halftime.
They may be showing the kicker, but it was not his fault. The ball was dropped by the holder. He never had an opportunity. Brandon Buford dropped the ball. It was not a bad snap. It was just another miscommunication of the special teams, not just the kicker, teams.
So here it is again, Tony. Here's the touchdown again.
Nice run. Ray makes the cut. Delayed draw, has the speed. Nobody touched him. Even though they did not get to 7, they got to 6, and they've changed the momentum of this game. I'm telling you, when you've lost 5 in a row, you start looking for an opportunity to lose also.
So do the Bison go for an onside kick here?
I would. What do you have to lose is 28-6. And right now, you want to test the thought process of Norfolk, and they're a little bit concerned, even though they're ahead by 22 points.
And, you know, that young man we may need to see more of, because that's the second straight week that Ramon McElrathway has scored a touchdown, a rushing touchdown.
Well, if you think about it, in the prior games and early in the year, they were going more to the pass, and they did not give him an opportunity. I felt if they'd have started using him at the beginning of the year, this guy could be a 1,000-yard rusher.
Well, 54 yards last week in a game against North Carolina A&T, and he's done well this afternoon, so we'll see if we see more of him as the game progresses.
I'm sure you will.
As Patrick Wolf tees it up, and you can tell he's thinking an onside kick. Where am I going to kick this ball?
Well, you know, and even if they do not do an onside kick, now's the time for the defense to make a play.
So Wolf tees it up, and he will kick it deep. And this will be the returner, taking it at the 16-yard line, up to the 20, 25, 30, straight through the teeth of the defense. Now down the sideline in a little foot race for the Norfolk State Spartans, and an 84-yard touchdown for Dwight Fluker-Berry.
And it was no fluke.
But it was very merry for the Spartans.
Yeah, and there you go. Special teams once again. And as we said, this is a three-facet game. As you can see, nice kick. His wall is building up. He set for the middle, go outside, and they fit into the blockers. I'm speaking to Howard. Then he gets down the sideline. No one there. He can almost walk into the end zone. Ty, I can't run out of sight in the week, and I could have scored on that. You have to now, that's 2 times in a row we've seen these special team players not get an effort on the punt, now on the kickoff.
Castellot for the PAT, and that is an 84-yard kickoff return, the third kickoff return for a touchdown against Howard this season.
That's disheartening. As hard as the offense has finally found something they can do, and then you allow special teams. This all he does, set it up, go up and in the middle, and then cut back outside. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4 Howard players not even close to him. No one where he can walk into the end zone. That means that some people, not 1 or 2, did not stay in their lane, did not cover correctly, and was not physical enough.
Dwight Fluker-Berry scores a touchdown. Still 1:07 left before halftime for the Bison, but now they're on the short end of a 35-6 score.
More than anything, it hurt the momentum and the thought process they were building up. They have finally found something to hang their hat on. They can run the ball. Once again, special teams, who started the game with a mistake, is in the half with one.
So now the Spartans will kick it back to the Bison. And I'm sure Coach Kerry Bailey just thinking about the momentum he had, but it was only for a moment.
All he can do is coach him. He's not covering, he's not kicking, he's not throwing passes, he's not rushing the passer. He can do the best he can. And I tell you what, Pete Adrian there, he's so happy because he can see his team starting to slump somewhat too. But now what you have to do, put that behind you. Go out here and try to do something in this last minute and 7 seconds.
Castellat kicks it, and this will be December. I'll make it
Quick 6.
Brandon Quick 6. Drayden taking it up to about the 28, making the 26-yard line.
That shows you the failure of these special teams. Now, Drayden, if someone would have blocked that man who ran past him at first, he would have picked up 15 to 20 more yards.
Rushing yards for this half. Norfolk State has 90. Howard, not too bad, 80 yards rushing, most of it on the last drive, on which they scored on, but unfortunately the special teams came right back and gave up an 84-yard touchdown. So here comes Hagler in shotgun formation with 1:01 left before the half. Hagler back to pass, looking, throws it out there and has Drayden, and Drayden will tiptoe out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Now you know you criticize Hagler and you criticize the way he throws on 3-step drop, but that was excellent then, and that was one of the hardest passes that a quarterback can throw is that out, and he set back. Even though he was still eyeballing, he threw a nice ball there, gave Drayden an opportunity to get outside and stop the clock.
First down and 10, 56 seconds left before the half. A score for the Bison would be huge at this point.
Any kind of score.
There's Hagler again, shotgun formation. McElrathway right beside him. Takes a snap, back to pass, looking. McElrathbey will fumble what was a lateral, looked to be a lateral behind the line of scrimmage.
Wasn't a lateral, but what I do like about that was his outlet receiver, and he was getting that to him. It wasn't a great throw, but if he had gotten it to Ray, I think Ray could have did some damage with it. But you have to sit and make the throw. But one good thing, he did look downfield. It wasn't out there. He went to his secondary receiver.
Second down and 10, ball at the Howard 38-yard line. 50 seconds left before halftime. And the Bison back to pass again with Hagler. Hagler looking, now being chased, running, and we'll have to throw it out of bounds. That time, good coverage by that Norfolk State secondary.
Good coverage and good makeup speed by that defensive line, because it looked as if he had a running lane when he began to run, but they closed that gap very, very quickly.
So third down and 10 now for the Bison. Hagler with 4 wide receivers in this set. McElrathbey is in the backfield right beside him. Norfolk State with a 3-4 defensive look, 7 defensive backs this time. Hagler back to pass, looking, and throws it out there. Sideline pass, and Jamison, did he make the catch? No, he could not get his feet down in bounds. So it's a 4th down and a punting situation for Coach Carey Bailey's team.
Now there we go. We got to that 3-step drop. He threw it a little bit outside, threw it a little bit far, because Jameson right there, he made a valiant effort to catch it. But you got to keep that where the guy at least have an opportunity to get his feet down in bounds.
My mistake on that turn is number 80, Daley Gunner, the freshman, and I guess as time goes on, he'll learn how to get his feet down on catches like that.
Yeah, but it really was thrown so far outside, he did the best he could do.
Dwight Fluka-Berry back with Dario Walker again. And here's the punt by Wolf, and Wolf almost had that one blocked, and this time the Norfolk State punt return team will let it bounce and into the end zone for a touchback. So the Spartans leading 35-6. Got to feel good about their first half, as there you see Patrick Wolf, who had a pretty good punt that time, 62 yards on that punt.
And he's had a good day. You know, we talked about special teams and everything, but one thing, he's been very consistent. He's got good distance. He's got good height, giving his covers time to get down and cover these punts. But the covers did not do a good job on that one that they ran back.
There you see the Spartans, who are well represented this afternoon on the sideline. A lot of people came down for Virginia, as well as the Norfolk State Spartan Marching Band, who will be performing at halftime, as well as Howard's Marching Band. So the Spartans going to take this to the half, leading 35-6, up by 29, and well on their way, at least right now, to breaking their 5-game losing streak. And Tony, as I told you at the top of the show, this is a team that came in 2-6, but a lot of big plays have been given up by their defense. Coach Pete Adrian says they could easily be 6-2, and so far with a good first half, we see why.
You can see that Coach Adrian was a little bit concerned as Howard began to run the ball. It's still not over. The big momentum switcher was missing of the extra point, as well as allowing the kickoff to be run back. But Howard has found something. Let's see what they do. We've always said third quarters are so important, whether you're losing the game or win the game. Coach Bailey should go in and say, we're going in this third quarter, we're going to establish ourselves and see what happens.
So it's halftime here at Green Stadium in Washington, D.C., where your score, Norfolk State leads Howard 35-6. Back with halftime entertainment after this timeout on HBCU Sports.
Things in your world. Spend some time in ours.
Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
You've earned this. Never fled from Spalding. True to the game.
It is halftime here in Washington, D.C., where the Norfolk State Spartans lead the Howard Bison 35-6. Right now, let's take it down to the field and be entertained by the Norfolk State Marching Band.
Most rewards members take 2 round trips on Acela, they get 1 free. Visit Amtrak.com for details.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
And we continue with halftime here at Green Stadium in Washington, D.C. Ty Miller and Tony McGee, where the Norfolk State Spartans lead the Howard University Bison 35-6. Right now, let's go down to the field and check out the Howard Marching Band.
So the ooh la la dancers.
things in your world. Spend some time in ours.
You know what? You've earned this. Never fled from Spalding. True to the game.
At Churches, we believe that greatness begins with passion and commitment. We proudly support the students and communities of historically black colleges and universities. Churches.
And we're back here at Green Stadium in Washington, D.C., getting set for the third quarter of this game between Norfolk State and Howard. There you see the Spartans on top of the Bison, 35-6. Ty Miller and Tony McGee here. Tony, let's take a brief look at the halftime stats in which Norfolk State has 192 yards of offense, while Howard 123. Not a big disparity there, but you look at the kickoff returns and the red zone chances. Howard with the poor player on special teams in that kickoff return unit.
Exactly. If you take away the kickoff return, that long punt return, then you taking away a lot of their what they had to make them get the score that they have. Also, that 140-yard pass, you take that away, they've only gained 30 more yards than Howard, so therefore Howard hasn't done that bad of a job.
And for the Spartans, every time they've gone to the red zone, 3 times they've scored. Now, let's take a look at the first half highlights. This is Dennis Brown on that scamper.
No containment. Well, we say you had to keep him inside. Once again, you got the fade route. They worked on that before the game, each and every play. Now you got him eyeballing right to the linebacker. Throw it, that's another touchdown.
That's Gordon Hammond on the return.
Now, as you got him running back coming in. We know he came in with 6 touchdowns, so therefore you have to keep your eye on him. Here we go, the long kickoff return. Nobody, one white jersey trying to get him. He walks down the sideline and take away the momentum.
That is Dwight Fluker-Berry on that return. Now for the Bison, they did have some success late in the first half.
Yeah, you take a look at it. They put the running game back together, and that's what's important. We said if they can run that ball, Whitaker running tough. Whitaker running tough again, making things happen, making more than one man take him down. Then you go and you get Ray involved. You got it. Oh, that's Whitaker once again, and that shows you he can also catch the ball. So Whitaker really got this going with his running and catching.
And there's Ramon Macarate.
I tell you what, once he gets the ball in his hand, he can make things happen. We're not even showing the one that was called back that he made a tremendous run that the offensive line was holding on.
So the Bison did have some brief success there in the first half. Now, looking at the stats, rushing yardage are about even. Passing yardage, that's where the Spartans have an edge. Hagler has not had the game he's had in the past weeks.
Yeah, but you look at them. Dennis has only had one 40-yard pass. You take away that 40-yard pass, that puts them at 60 yards.
And there we see the birds enjoying the water and the sunshine here in Washington, D.C. The two teams aren't back on the field, and we're getting set for the third quarter here. If you're Coach Kerry Bailey, what did you talk to your team about at halftime?
As I said, that Dennis Brown, you take a look at this. Dennis Brown, he's had 10 of 14, 103 yards. He had that one big 40-yard one, but he's also hurt him with his feet. You got to stop that. Whitaker, you see that he had 10 carries for 10. It's not 2.7 yards. He got 27 yards, but he got 2.7 average. That's not what really matters. It matters that he did some tough running, made some things happen. So what you, Kerry Berry, you say, Bailey, you say, let's go back to running the ball. Let's get tough. Let's take this third quarter and see can we inch our way back into the game.
And there you see Carlos Whitaker on the bike, and there you see Martin December back deep to receive for the Bison, who will get the second half kickoff from Justin Castanot of the Norfolk State Spartans.
And one other thing, Ty, play better on special teams, please.
We'll see what happens on this kickoff as Castanot makes his approach and kicks it deep, and this will be Drayden at the 10. Up to the 15, Drayden to the 20, 25, and stopped at about the 26-yard line before he had a seam, but one of the Norfolk State defenders stepped in there and made the stop. There was number 26, Ricardo Volkin, who made the stop.
And that's what we're saying. Drayden was right there. That's the second time we've seen consecutively that he had an opportunity to make a big run, but the people up front that's blocking is not getting the job done, and they must get the job done. It's always really the chemistry and the whole unit working together that makes it happen.
Floyd Hagler comes back out at quarterback for the Bison, who will look again to establish the running game as he hands it off to Ramon McElrathbey, and McElrathbey will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage as Dennis Marsh, number 1, made the stop.
You do not let a big 6'5", 300-pound defensive tackle come in and really penetrate the backfield before your running back can get the ball, and essentially that's what they did. This young man came in with 35 tackles, and you know he can make plays. You're running at him. You got to get him off that line of scrimmage. You have to make it happen, but it has to happen by controlling the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 11 after McElrathbey was dropped for a loss of 1. So the Bison will be back at their 25-yard line. Norfolk State with a 4-man front this time. Howard with Whitaker back in the eye. Now play action fake. Hagler has a man out there, and ball is nearly picked off. Nearly picked off by Josh Anderson, the strong safety who read that play all the way.
He read that play and he read the eyes. Some kind of way, Hagler has to stop looking at his primary receiver. He needs to look at the center. There you see, he dropped back. Watch his head when he dropped back. He's looking right there. He turns, he's looking at his man. He never looks him off. Until you look him off, it just will look at your eyes, and that happens to any quarterback. He's a young quarterback, and I'm sure he will stop doing this eventually, but this is what he needs to work on this offseason.
Third down 11 for the Bison. Ball at the 25. Hagler back in shotgun formation. Whitaker the single setback. Twin